Good day, fellow Lasalians, and welcome to Grow & Co, where we bring you freshly brewed conversations on life, learning, and St. Lasal. I am Brother Luigi, your newest brother in school, and I'm excited to talk about things that matter most to you. For this episode, the fifth episode of Grow & Co, let's talk about our mothers, our grandmothers, sisters, daughters, ates, and the important ladies in our lives. This 2021, the National Women's Month celebration, is a tribute, platform, and call to action, highlighting the exceptional role of ordinary Juanas in modern society as trailblazers and frontrunners of change. This calls for concrete, sustainable, and wide-ranging actions in a bid to achieve gender equality. Last March 8th, we celebrated the International Women's Day. With this year's campaign theme, Choose to Challenge, we acknowledge that challenge comes from change, hence the slogan. Coming from diverse backgrounds and roles, our guests for today are four ladies who embody empowerment in various aspects. We have a former politician, a housewife, a leader in a service organization, and a student leader. Let's meet our guests for this episode, starting with, of course, Doc Nooky, fondly called Nooky. She has been with De La Salle for 25 years and currently the Institutional Quality Assurance Director. She is a wife and mother to 7 children. Let's welcome here on our online studio, Dr. Maria Teresa M. Mangulabnan.
Hi.
Hi, Dr.
Hello.
Hello.
And thank you for having me here.
Right. Nice to see you po. Our second guest is fondly called Lougine, a daughter, a sister, and of course, our student here in De La Salle. She's taking up the Bachelor of Science in Entrepreneurship, and also she is the Student Government Executive Vice President and the former Secretary of the College of Business, Economics, Accountancy, and Management. Let's now virtually meet Ms. Lourdes Genevieve Solis.
Hello po, brother.
Good afternoon. Meet Doc Nooky also. She's also with us.
Hi po, Doc Nooky. Good afternoon po.
Hi, Luigi.
All right. And of course, help me welcome our third guest. She's the president of Rotary Club of Lipa West and is the head of De La Salle High School Batch 1992. She has 2 kids and is married to MacArthur Acuña. They run a car business named Gamad Auto Center. Let's give it up for Miss Fatima Gamad Acuña.
Good afternoon po. Animo, Lasal.
All right. And of course, last but not the least, our next guest has worn many, many hats, from being a public official for several years as a Lipa former councilor and board member of the 6th District of Batangas Province, to being an academic achiever since then. She graduated with a Master in Management Technology degree at De La Salle in 1992 and is taught as a professional lecturer here from 1997 to 2001. She is the loving wife of our Lipa City Mayor Eric Africa and a mother to 8 children. Let us welcome Ms. Rowena Sombrano Africa.
Magandang hapon po, brother.
Magandang hapon. And of course, thank you everyone. Thank you very much for being here with us on the show. The nice thing about our show today is, of course, we get to hear your stories, not just as your personal lives, but also your insight on what it means to really be an empowered woman. And so, without further ado, let's talk about your lives as women, as ladies, as mothers, as sisters, as daughters, and let's try to look at the society we live in today. As we have our conversation, please feel free to share, and for the viewers, you may comment. We'll have our conversations there as well. So, I'd like to ask, I'm very, very curious about this, most especially here in Lipa. How would you describe an empowered woman in society today? How would you describe a woman who is empowered in society?
Being empowered in the society is being given the chance to voice out your ideas and have it realized in whatever form it is. But generally po, di ba, magkakaiba yung living condition ng kababaihan. So, depende sa kanyang sitwasyon kung ano yung empowerment on her perspective. So, sa tulad ko po, nanay, and being the wife of the mayor, you can at least make some adjustments and make some innovations on his programs without being pushy to his call. Being a former public servant, you know the extent of your community. So at least po, na-adjust nyo ano yung culture meron ng Batanggenyo, anong culture ang meron ng Lipa. And basically, we have nearly 500,000 na Lipeño po. And with that 500,000, half po niyan ay relatively babae po. So napakaliit po ng difference ng population ng babae at lalaki. That's why being empowered is being able to involve yourself in every aspect of community lives.
Right. Ang ganda po, Ms. Weng, nung sinabi. Ang ganda rin po nung sinabi niya na really about the involvement of women in society, the involvement of women in community. And it would also be nice to hear from Miss Fatima. My parents also are Rotarian, so I could relate with community care, being really involved in society. So how is it po in the Rotary Club of Lipa West, or also in your personal life as a mother and as a wife? How would you describe an empowered woman in society today?
I'll just put it as simply as I can. You are empowered when you feel your decisions matter and your actions matter. Pag ang pakiramdam mo, mahalaga ang opinion mo, mahalaga ang mga desisyon mo, mahalaga ang ginagawa mo, you are an empowered woman. So sa ating lipunan dito sa Pilipinas, konti naman po ang gender gap o hindi naman po ramdam ang discrimination sa pagdating sa babae at pagdating sa lalaki. Actually, number 1 po tayo sa Asia in terms of women empowerment. So maganda naman po ang ating estado bilang babae at ang pagtingin po ng lipunan sa atin bilang babae. Naniniwala po ako na wala po noon hanggang ngayon, wala nang po nararamdamang discrimination at I feel that ang opportunities ko po bilang isang babae namamangyaras din sa mga kalalakihan. So, matter of fact, kung nga po ay dati Student Council President ng Lasal almost 4 decades ago. So, gano'n na po kaganda ang estado ng mga kababaihan sa ating lipunan 4 decades ago. So, you can just imagine kung ano nang nangyaring emancipation ng mga babae this date and this year. So, at least may maganda po itong bagay ang mga Pilipino at mga Pilipina na maipagmamalaki sa buong mundo. Di po ba?
Right. And I think that is something we must all be happy and proud about. I like what you shared, po, that even in your time as a student, you already felt that empowerment. When you were still here in the Salle, you already felt that empowerment. And it would be very interesting to know how Lougine, our current student, also experiences that and how you feel as a student, as an executive vice president of the student government. Lougine, what could you say about that also?
So, ayun po, brother. As a student po, I can say that an empowered woman understands that learning doesn't end inside the classroom. For me po, an empowered woman is someone who's always willing to have continuous learning kahit na po wala po siya sa loob ng school. She is someone who is always willing to know her rights and worth and who practice self-respect and self-care po anywhere all the time. So yun po, ang empowered women po for me is yung nagtitake po ng actions to inform and to empower the other women as well. Lalo na po sa panahon ngayon na madami pong women ang nakaka-experience ng difficulties and nakaka-experience ng pang-aabuso because of the lack of knowledge and support about our rights. So, ayun po, brother, for me po ang empowered women po is a woman na hindi lamang pina-priority kung ano yung for her own good, kundi naka-focus din siya dun sa goodness ng kapwa niya babae.
Right. Ang ganda ng sinabi mo, Lougine. It starts with awareness. It starts with knowing your own worth, knowing your own personhood as a woman. Diba? And we see that from young women to women who are already involved. We see that, and it's a linear understanding. Of course, not literally linear understanding, but it's a developmental and progressive understanding. And how have we reached that understanding? Also, of course, without the guidance of men and women, or women and men who have taught us in our school. No? And Doc Nooky, I would like to ask, how is it like as a administrator, of course, of De La Salle? How do you feel that also in your profession?
Well, as an administrator, brother, when we say empower men, it means that you know your strength, you know your weaknesses, you know that you have a voice, and you can freely speak. So, importante kasi yun. And as a Lasallian, I remember, so I am also a graduate of De La Salle Lipa and De La Salle University. No, tinuro yun sa amin. No, we were molded, to be somebody who knows how to speak her mind, but at the same time, somebody who knows her nature. Ibig sabihin, alam niya kung kailan siya magsasalita. Alam niya kung kailan siya hindi magsasalita. Alam niya kung kailan siya nasa sideline lang, and alam niya kung kailan siya mag-step up. So yun po.
Yeah. Salamat, Doc Nooky. And siguro just looking at the answers that we've shared and the stories that we've shared also, it's really, really interesting. And I feel very, very happy that at least here in De La Salle, even in our society, in the Lipa City, and I would say even in the Philippines, more or less, di ba, we have moved so far from how society has started to understand the role of women in society. And it's very, very interesting to know. Of course, no, we know that it's not always perfect, right? It's not always perfect. And that leads me to my second interesting question that I'd like to ask you. How do you feel that women have more, or if they have less, voice in things in society? Do you see it as, okay, we have voice already, okay, but are there still aspects in society or in life that you think kailangan pa ma-empower ang mga kababaihan? Or parang kulang pa sa part na ganito, na kulang pa sa empowerment, kulang pa, the voice doesn't matter. Do you feel that way? Or are there aspects that still manifest that old way of thinking? So, anyone would like to answer may do so. Is there any area that you think we could still empower women? Yes po, Ms. Weng, go ahead po.
Opo, siguro kasi hindi kasi ako yung pragmatic na would always go with absolute equality, because I do not believe in absolute equality. But for now, as compared in decades and centuries ago, women are now empowered. It may not be to the extent to which others would like to have it, but the opportunities are already laid down to each and every one. In 1900s, there were no rights given to Filipino women to vote. It was only in the first Commonwealth government under Manuel Quezon, because his wife was a voracious reader. So when she was able to get hold of a message telling that in US there's already the right to vote, he requested the then President Manuel Quezon, oh, please allow us to vote. You come up with a bill. So pinirmahan niya po yan. Nagtataka po lahat Why do we celebrate Women's Month on March? Ano yung relevance? Because it was in March in 1900s that the President of the United States signed the bill into law.
Oh, okay.
Opo. So tayo po'y copycat. Okay? On the end of the Filipinos, in 1900s, hubo pa ang ibang mga regions. Mga Ita, Igorot, wala tayong TV. It was only in the evolution of time and in the entry of the first Filipino woman president, Madame Cory Aquino, that the new constitution in 1987 was signed. There was decentralization, and a commission was created to focus on the national welfare of women. So dun po nagkaroon ng Women Commission. And from there, nag-start yung women advocacy na March ang celebration ng Women's Month ng Pilipinas. Kaalinsabay natin po nito. Ang tanong ng lahat, bakit March 3, 8, 18? In US and in Europe, when it was celebrated on the first set of years, 2 weeks po ang celebration. Kasi maingay ang mga tao, masaya. Pero, lumalaki yung gastos. So, ang mandate po, kahit isang araw lang, for as long as we commemorate our right. And siguro po, with the statistics, uprising, meron sa social, medical practitioners, meron na rin sa simbahan. Everyone has a role in every field. Ang kultura natin, ang hindrance minsan, kasi minsan ikinakahon ang babae. At hindi ang nagsasabi ang lalaki ang dahilan. Hindi lalaki ang dahilan. It is how we accept the norms and the set of minds that is being fueled upon us. Sa ibang bansa po siguro, normal sa kanilang makakita na naka-midrib o kaya nagsuswimming na hubot-hubad on open public. Pero it will take time for the generation of Filipinos to accept that norm. Hindi tayo handa. So ganun din po yung practice ng freedom and empowerment ng women. Lahat naman kayo pwedeng maglingkod. Lahat kayo pwedeng magturo. Lahat kayo pwedeng magtrabaho. Pero may babaeng, hindi. Bahay na lang ako. It is always a choice. And if whatever we choose, what is important is that we try to excel and give our utmost heart, because that is women.
Right.
Brother, I agree with Miss Weng, no? Nung sinabi niya na women are actually empowered. Ako, I believe in that. Yung women empowerment, this is not a new thing. This is not a modern thing. Ayoko mag-lecture kwentuhan lang to. Pero kasi parati ko iniisip, parati ko siguro kasi ako, I am still, a religious education teacher. So, alam niyo, even if we go back to the Old Testament time, Genesis na lang, women were created, as inferior to, di ba, to men or superior to men. But ito yung katabi mo yung babae. So that means we have our unique characteristics that basically complement, no, yung men. So ibig sabihin, there is a balance and we are part of that balance. And then siguro lang because of, yung culture doon sa Old Testament, nakalimutan nila yon. Pero as far as, the creation of the world, nandyan na yung women empowerment. Kaya lang doon nga lang medyo yung sa history, titingnan natin, medyo nakalimutan nila yon. Pero, punta tayo, sorry po, hindi pa ako nagle-lecture, pantuhan lang. Pero pagdating ng New Testament, na-reinforce ito. Why? Ako kasi, our devotion to the Virgin Mary, my God, si Virgin Mary had Jesus untouched by a man, di ba? Or by sin. That means, inaangat yung characteristic ng babae na kaya niya. And of course, kaya niyang mag-isa. Siguro yung age niya, mga 13, 14, ngayon, nagka-Chinese garter pa yung mga bata. Pero Mary was given the, responsibility alone. So, ibig sabihin, inaangat talaga yung characteristic ng babae. Tapos, of course, si Jesus pa, the apostles may be all men. But come on, important. Diba? Important aspect in the life of Jesus always include women. So, hindi nila sinantabi yun. So, yung women empowerment, I agree with Miss Weng na yung kultura lang talaga yung problema natin. Pero ang mga babae, as long as you know your nature, women empowerment is knowing your nature. If you're aware of your nature, diba, somehow yung action mo will follow. Parang ganun po.
Yeah. Ang ganda. Yes. Fatima, go ahead.
Gaya ng sinabi ko kanina, ang pakiramdam ko ang hindi na lang nagagawa at nagagawa ng mga kababaihan ngayon ay maging pari at maging brother ng Lasal.
We have sisters. We have Lasal sisters.
Meron na ba? Ibig sabihin, wala na po tayong hindi pwede. Ayun, the time na nagagamit mo pa ang pagiging babae mo as a leverage eh. Ngayon hindi na. Sa lahat ng fields ay you get equal opportunities. Kung babae ka o lalaki ka. So, minsan gusto mo nang gamitan. Halimbawa, pag magdadrive ka, gusto mo na lang sabihin na, hindi po ako magaling mag-drive kasi babae po ako. Hindi na uso yun ngayon.
Hindi na po totoo yun. Tama.
Dati nagagamit mo pa yung excuse na yun eh. Kaya hindi na. Minsan you'd like to give that as an excuse. Diba? Your fragility, etc., etc. But it doesn't work anymore. Wala nang ganun ngayon. At natutuwa ako na ganun na ngayon ang lipunan natin. That's good. Especially in the Philippines. Like I said a while ago, we rank 1 in Asia. Lang naman, nakakatuwa lang. May Lasallian sister.
Yes, meron pong Lasal sisters.
Yes po.
Actually, ang funny dyan is, we have Lasallian sisters. They're in Bacolod and in Antipolo also. And we share the same charism. And we love them just as much as we love our brothers, no? And it's interesting to note, maybe Lougine could add on this, no? What could you say about, after learning and hearing from our guests also, what could you add to that discussion?
Yes po. Yun po. With regards to what Ms. Wang, Dr. Nooky, and Ms. Fatima said, I believe that we women can prove that we are as efficient and as competent as others in different fields in the society po.
Tama, no? And ang ganda at nakakatuwa na sana lahat tayo, both women and men, realize that we are not different. Well, we have differences, but ultimately we are not different from each other. Of course, we would have differences, no? And that's beautiful. That makes it beautiful. But at the same time, inaangat at dapat tinutulungan natin ng isa't isa, naiangat ang isa't isa. Right? It's not, ako as a Delasal brother, teaching both men and women, boys and girls. Even in the student government pa lang, di ba? We have officers who are ladies. In society, in administration, in civil services, we have women who are ladies. And it's beautiful to know. And this is me as a man also. I would say it's really our shared responsibility, shared role, shared respect and acceptance of each other that makes our society like this. Because at a certain point, if we did not recognize the unity of each other, the sameness of each other, then we wouldn't reach this certain point in our society, in our history, no? And it's interesting to also realize that, of course, there is still crisis, there are still problems that we still face, no? And maybe it would be nice to also recognize that we have gone a long way, but there's still a lot of things for us to do. Maybe that could be something we could discuss, or that could be something I could ask for your opinion about. What do you think could still be improved in society in terms of accepting this role and accepting women in society? Of course, we already know that, as you've established already, it's already there. But what else could we do? Miss Fatima, would you like to start off?
Like I said a while ago, maganda na po talaga ang sitwasyon ng kababaihan dito sa ating bansa. Pero para po mas lalong lumawi at ma-enhance, ma-improve ang sitwasyon naming mga kababaihan, siyempre edukasyon po. Naniniwala po ako. Yan po magsisimula lahat ng learnings, lahat ng paniniwala sa sarili. Kailangan you have to have the best education. And of course, family, the way they bond you, the way they encourage you when you were just growing up, na pinaniwala ka nila na walang diferensya ang pagiging babae at lalaki. Dapat bilang magulang, ginagawa natin sa ating mga tutupan. I hope I'm doing that. I have 2 kids, they're both boys, and I have to let them know also na walang diferensya ang mga lalaki at babae. Ganun, bilang mga magulang dapat i-engrain natin sa mga anak natin. Parehas lang. Walang pagkakaiba. We complement each other. At we have the same opportunity. And we should respect each other. We should have that environment. We complement each other. Hindi ito kompetensya. Ito ay trabaho lang. Walang personalan.
Opo. Ang ganda po nung sinabi niyo, no, na importante talaga mag-start sa family and sa education. And I'd also like to ask Miss Nooky, maybe, and Miss Weng as a mom, and then later si Luigi in school, no, how is it as a relationship in the family? How do you instill those values in your children po?
Brother ako, I have 7 children. Okay, mas marami si Ritsuel. But I have 7 children, and yes, I'm very, very proud of my children. I am also a working mother, and I am a very independent mother, and I am a very independent person. And I want to still that to them. Ako po yung tipo na, I remember nung sila ay maliliit pa, sorry dun sa mga mother ngayon, no, na yung nagbubuhat ng trolley ng kanilang mga anak, never ko po yun ginawa. Kasi po, gusto kong i-instill sa kanila yung independence. Kaya nyo, I would always tell them, kaya yan ginawang may gulong, ilagay nyo ang mga bag nyo para kaya nyo siyang hilahin. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, yung simpleng paghila niyan, ibig sabihin, merong part, no? Part of them na pwede nilang sabihin, ay, kaya ko tong gawin. Okay? Hindi yung tipong, yung iba po kasi, I can see, no, na sasalubungin and then bibitbitin lahat. You know, I want them to have that sense of independence kasi as a mother, as an empowered mother, I have my goal. And basically my goal is to give them wings to fly because, you know, yes, they're from me, but, you know, hindi talaga sila sa akin. They will have their own lives. And my role as a mother is to develop in them yung independence. And then sa bahay po, I always ask for, you know, for their opinion. But they know, Mama is firm. Mama. But I ask and I listen and I ask them to explain to me. Like, okay lang ba magkwento? I prepared, you know, as an employee of the Lipa, I made sure that all my children will go to college. That's part of my goal of giving them wings. Inassure ko yon. Kaya lang after high school, isa-isa na silang nagpapaalam. You know, Ma, I am being invited by National University to try out sa volleyball. And then ito na yung isa. And then even my eldest, you know, I was offering my eldest Dela sa Lipa, a very good nursing program. So what do you think about it? And then, you know, she simply said, Ma, I want to take up education. Oh, so Ako gusto ko nursing. Siyempre, yung ganun ang Filipino nanay mag-nursing ka kasi madaming trabaho. I want to take up education. And then, pero mama, I want to study in LaSalle, but at De La Salle University. Alam mo yun, yung tipo, oh my God. So, this is entirely different from what I want. And then I told him, anak, I cannot afford De La Salle University. You know what she said? Okay, ma, meet tayo halfway. Allow me to go to De La Salle University. Allow me to take up mathematics, actually. It's major in math because she loves math. Allow me, I'll find scholarship. And you know what, brother? Yes, 2 scholarship yun. Just to prove to me na, sige ma, just allow me. Yun po yung conversation. I am a mother. I have to be firm. I have plans for them. But I have to listen to them. Ang sabi ko lang sa kanila, okay, this is what you want. Meron yang effect. Eventually, mag-isa na lang ako. Or, parang you leave me. Ako, I have to bear with that. Kasi I am allowing you to fly. This is part of your wings. But make sure you make me proud. So, you have to empower them also. Parang gano'n.
Yes, and I think it's very important, maybe from this way, maybe in your stories, di ba, pag umiikot po kayo sa Lipa, kamusta po yung iba rin namang mga kababaihan who are experiencing challenges, who are experiencing difficulties in life? How do they continue to be empowered?
Kings Fatima and kay Ma'am Nooky and Lougine, education talaga po. Tama po yun sa kanila. Po? Because, like for example, we have this law, violence against women, brother. We orient the women, anong karapatan mo ikaw ay sinaktan psychologically sa salita, kapag physical, meron kang pasa, o sinampal ka na hindi mo gusto, o kaya sinabi kang sexual abuse, kahit asawa mo, ayaw mo makipag-sex, that's sexual abuse. Pero bakit ang ino-orient natin babae? Hindi naman babae ang nananakit at hindi siya ang inirereklamo. Kaya education, ang ginagawa ngayon, dapat sa lalaki. That's why the empowering men, to educate men, ano yung batas. Kasi di po ba may sinasabi tayo, harassment. Pag sinabi ko nyari, nanay, nagtitinda ng sundot saging at sinitsitan siya. Psst, ang ganda mo, ang laki ng harap mo, tusukin ko. That's sexual harassment because that is very offending to your sense. Pero tanong natin doon sa magsusundot saging, pupunta ka ba sa barangay kung nasaan ang Bausides para sabihin mo, uy, naghahabla ako, kung papaubos mo yung sundot saging mo at makikijoin ka doon sa mga nabiling mga nandoon sa kartero at sasabihin mo, sabi naman, ubusin mo na nga to. Kaya po minsan, depends really sa norms ng area talagang yon. Ang Batanggenyo, Lipeño, very resilient. When you went through the process of Taal, even COVID, alam nyo, tayo, you have the capacity, hindi mo masyadong ma-differentiate. Pagdating sa bahay na maliit o sa may kakulangan, hindi rin nila ma-differentiate, bro. Because they are okay with their lives. Kumbaga, kung sanay kang kinakain mo ay tuyo sa umaga, nagtatrabaho, naglalaba kang mag-isa, hindi mo sasabihin kulang ka sa empowerment. Kasi ito ang buhay na nakagisnan mo. Unless, ikulong ka na lang ng asawa mo, doon ka na lang nagwawala. Pero napaka-minimal. 240,000 na babaeng taga-Lipa, napakaliit po. It's 0.000001 ang layo po. But bakit ang dami nating naririnig sa TV? Kasi masyadong negative ang presentation ng media sa buhay ng Pilipino. Ako at 8 kids. Ang ginagawa namin, brother, pwede namang sabihin namin kay ate, siya na lang ang maglinis. Pero kami po, I have big brother, and a small. So dapat yung anak kong maliit, sa gabi, yung panganay ang magbabantay magligo, mag-wash up, mag-toothbrush, dapat yung maliit, may trabaho din siya sa bahay, marunong dapat ang bawat isa ng house chores, yung panganay ko magbibet, pero dapat marunong siya physically and knowingly maglinis ng baboy, kailangan niya magtawak ng tayo ng baboy, literally tinuturuan siya ni Eric. Because sabi ni Eric, hindi pwedeng mag-veterinaryo ka, pero hindi ka marunong maglinis ng baboy. So, yung magtatay, kahit mayor siya, kailangan maglinis din siya ng baboy. Because he has to empower his son. Ako po, kailangan ipakita ko sa anak paano maglaba, paano magugas ng pinggan, paano maglinis ng bahay. Kaya nako-contextualize natin ang babae na dapat ganito ka kataas o dapat naka-uniforme ka para igalang ka. Kasi yun ang pananaw natin. Kaya nag-iiba ang ating differentiation and definition ng respeto is because how we package women. Sasabihin mo, equality. Tapos sasabihin mo, dapat ipagbukas mo ang pinto. Dapat kapag tricycle, hindi ako nasa likod. Dapat nasa malambot. Ay, hindi yan equality. Hindi empowerment na hinihingi mo. Gusto mo makalamang. Di po ba, bra? So, these things, we try to educate our kids. Kahit sa bahay, hindi pwedeng sabihin ng anak kong babae, hindi kayang buhatin. Hindi. Kaya niyang buhatin. Bawasan niyo ang load. So, very, very light ang approach sa mga bata, kasi 8 yan. Pero, sa pagkain, pare-parehong kakainin natin. Pag sinabi ng anak ko, hindi siya nakain yan, brother, babae, may bang favoritism? Hindi, brother. Pero pag tapos ng kumain lahat, sa ako itong favorite ng gusto niya. Pero sa kayo. And ang mahalaga po sana, we try to hype. Hinihingi namin kay Lasal. Kasama ang Rotary is part of it. Si Ma'am Nooky, Vision Educator and sa Student Council. Let's hype on positive vibes.
Salamat po, Ms. May. Ang ganda po ng mga kwento natin. And maybe it would be nice also to hear the story of Lougine as a student naman and as a daughter, di ba? Paano yung upbringing, paano yung training, tapos even in the school, di ba? How do you experience that relationships with the world?
Yun po, as a student, para po sa akin, women are empowered through getting involved with organizations and communities that educate as women and spread awareness po about our rights. So, also po through being an advocate or having an advocacy po on women's empowerment. Kasi po ako as a student po, naniniwala po ako na these organizations and advocacies will serves as a big platform for us to educate ourselves and to spread awareness. And ayun po, speaking through experience po, itong mga organizations and the likes na to, itong mga bagay na to, malaki po talaga yung naitutulong sa ating sarili na madadala po natin to hanggang sa ating pagtanda. Super humahanga po ako sa mga kababaihan ngayon na walang takot and buong tapang po na nag-speak out and nag-voice out ng mga facts para po ma-enlighten and ma-inform hindi lamang po yung kababaihan kundi yung mga tao po about women empowerment and about our rights po. Yun, as a daughter po is hindi lamang po ako yung na-educate as well as my parents po and my whole family po.
Right. Ang ganda, Lougine, yung sinabi mo na even in school, di ba, you have the chance to also create change and promote advocacies. And maybe it would be a good time to ask you as a student government officer, what is your message to your classmates, your friends, and in general, di ba? What's your message to them in this year's International Women's Month? Lougine?
So, ayun po, I want to greet them all. Happy International Women's Month po. And ang masasabi ko lang po is, this marks a call for us to be informed about our rights and worth. And ayun po, sa murang edad po, huwag po tayong matakot na i-acknowledge yung halaga natin bilang isang babae. Huwag din po tayong matakot na itama yung mga bagay-bagay. If sa palagay po natin is may mali nang nangyayari or may naaabuso na po. So, yun po. Kasi po as a youth, as a student, we need to do something. We need to take actions and we need to guide our fellow women to the right path po. Palagi po tayong magbahagi ng ating kaalaman sa ating kapwa. Palagi po tayong mag-share ng ating learnings. And palagi po tayong magbigay suporta sa ating kapwa babae.
And thank you, Lougine. Ang ganda ng message mo. Sana marami rin matuto at tuloy tayong matuto sa ating mga schools, sa ating mga programs. So, how about you po, Doc Nooky? Any message that you would like to give to women?
Brother, every time they ask me, how many children do you have? So I say, 7 children. And then they would, may follow-up question. Pito ang anak mo? You don't look like you have 7 children. And then I ask them, why? Ano ba dapat ang itsura ng babae, ng nanay na may 7 anak? Okay, so siguro dito lang. Kasi when I say women empowerment, it's basically, taking care of yourself while taking care of others. Being in charge with yourself while being in charge, diba, with others. So for the women out there, we have to be what? We have to be strong. We have to go back to our nature. We're women, we're not men. They have their own characteristics. We have our own characteristic. And ito parati kong sinasabi sa mga anak ko, life is not easy. But it becomes, light when you take care of yourself. Dapat wag mong kalilimutan ang sarili mo kasi hindi ka makakapagbigay sa ibang tao kung ubos ka na. So, ito po yung parati kong sinasabi sa mga tao, make sure you always look beautiful because that is the nature of a woman. We are beautiful.
Miss Fatima, how about you? What would be your message to women?
I agree with Lougine and Doc Nooky. Stay educated and be happy. Stay happy. Be proud. Not all. You're a woman. That's it.
Right. Salamat po, Miss Fatima. Miss Weng, kayo po?
Again, thank you. And for women, we make the community better and everything becomes advanced. So let's be thankful to our life, and we always believe that with prayer, nothing is impossible.
Right. Salamat po sa mga messages niyo. Ako rin po, while I listen to you, I've learned so much. I hope all our viewers have learned a lot about women empowerment, reading more about our human dignity as women and men, and in our role in society here today. And that wraps up our conversation here in Grow & Co. And of course, we at De La Salle are very, very grateful to have you here with us at Grow & Co. And to all of you who have stayed until the end of our episode, thank you so much for being here with us. As promised, we would like to hear and see your favorite teachers, students, classmates, personalities, influencers here with us on our show. In that same form, make yourself heard. Suggest topics, comments, share your thoughts, and let's talk about that in our next episode. So maraming salamat po to our guests, Doc Nooky, Miss Fatima, Miss Weng, and of course, Lucy. And thank you to all of you for being here with us in this episode. We hope to have you all here again in Grow & Co, where we bring you freshly brewed conversations about life, learning, and staying the Salle.